Today is part 6. One important thing, avoid buyer's fatigue. This whole series have given you no reason for not to be able to afford home. Second thing which can hit anybody is, hello, friends. Today is part 6 of our series. So we covered 5 different series. If you are jumping on the part 6, so my friends who has been listening to this series to part 6 has been sending me PM, hey, we are waiting for your last part. And here it is, guys. So I'm going to share my screen, and here is our PowerPoint, which I have prepared just for you. Okay, so let's go through each step. And now that you have saved your money, which was series 5, which you saved the money for your down payment, closing cost, and your IRA or 401k fund is also going on. If you have temporarily put a hold on that saving to collect down payment fast, I can understand. But once you buy the house, which is the 2025 resolution, then you must start, instead of putting the money for down payment, which you don't need anymore, to the IRA or your retirement fund. Okay, so guys, as you can see here, it says there are 6 flagpoles. So there is a 6-month timeline. Let's go to the very first step where I have put your flag. A lot of people ask me, ma'am, how do I start looking for a home? And I ask them, what is your closing date in your mind? And they are like, X surprise. Why do you want to know our closing date? Once you find us a home, we will close, of course. And I'm like, no. You need to know your closing date due to a couple of things, and which can hold you up. And I want to have our journey to be very successful and not tiring. The reason you may have the lease ending, like say in this case, it was October 31st. So you want to make sure to buy a house before October 31st. And we are talking about this sometime in January. Okay. Now, if I start looking for a home after I interview them, so then we are ready to put an offer and they are fumbling for pre-approval letter, or the pre-approval cannot be obtained because things are still just not ready, which is considered by lender as move forward. So then we hit the brick wall. Second reason we hit the brick wall, if we find a house, say by March, they have 6 months extra payment to make it before they can move out, or they will have to absorb that 6-month lease wastage into their savings account. Third, if you are sharing a room with somebody or you are staying with your family members and they have given you a deadline to move out, that also needs to be clear, because if we have to work and close in 2 months, we can. But ideally, right situation is, what is your closing date in your mind? And once you say, okay, my lease expires in September, and then I say, okay, let's do the October 31st as your closing date. Then we move up to the second flag, which is keeping a 30 days as margin. Why do we need margin? In case closing is delayed or seller is not moving out in time and you don't want to lose that house. So September 30th is your 1-month margin date. Let's move to the third flag, the third important post. So August 15th, what is August 15th? The August 15th is the date for you to apply for mortgage, which is usually for 30 days closing or 45 days closing. Some lenders get so busy during certain time that they need 45 days. And suppose your pre-approval is from them. But keeping 30 to 45 days is reasonable, and usually most of the lenders can fulfill that date. So we are now on the August 15th. Let's see what is the fourth flag stop. July 1st. What is it? Perfect home search may take 6 weeks. Okay. So some people can finish seeing the homes in zip, like within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They have no restriction, any direction front door. They are only looking for very basic 2 or 3 things, 1 story or 2 story, either 4 bedrooms or 4 bedroom and study or 3 bedroom and study. And they are okay with 2 bathrooms or 2.5 bathrooms. If your requirement is very basic, it's perfectly okay. So now that you know, it may only take 6 weeks for the people who are very specific, area specific, who is looking for an older community. Because in older community, for houses to come on sale may not be a whole lot, correct? So then you have to calculate that too, that maybe 1 week you have nothing which is new in a market showing up in the listing. If it's a new construction, you get a lot of choices, and I prefer you to pick something within 4 weeks so you get a lot of discounts from the builders. And I will talk about that later in the series, how to save money when you are buying a new construction home. Let's go to the fifth flagpole. It's June 20th to 30th. So it moved up actually by 6 weeks, which was for that home search time. On June 20th to 30th, I have written that you interview process for realtor. Okay, it's critical you shop around for the realtor who's the best one, who's the good one. Don't go to the one who your parents have recommended or friends have recommended. And there's nothing wrong with it, but at the same time, check their website, check their social media presence. 2 things must. If their presence on social media is minimal, especially for listing your homes and things like that, they really do not have much experience. Neither do they know a whole lot of Houston area because they are not on social media, and Houston being so huge that all these suburban counties makes it almost 2 hour commute from one end to the other end. If it takes that long, that means you have lost your area expertise. Once you have that in a mind, immediately you go ahead and pick a pre-approval person. All that is happening between those 10 days. Now, credit approval, I say, why last minute? Because you're going to start looking for a home July 1st. Understand the credit approvals are good for 90 days only. After 90 days, they will have to pull another credit. Now, if we are lucky, you're going to finish everything from July, August, September. You're probably going to close in 3 months and you will not have to pull new credit. This is kind of a normal process. Now, any exceptions can be added, no big deal. Like you can go before this on June 1st and do leisurely your interviews for realtors. And believe me, realtors will have some preferred lenders. Now, you may say, hey, that is a conflict of interest. No, the reason I'm saying no is nobody gets any kickbacks from anybody. This is a very professional world. I recommend the lenders who has proved their success before, who has gotten my clients out of woods, which was thrown to us at the last minute. I've done one video. Please listen to it. I will put a link to it where my borrower started looking for a house, a second home, and she was the only income buying a home with her mother, and she was pregnant. And at 7th month, when the house was ready to close by the builder, she was on leave of absence, or you call that a family leave. And if you are on family leave or anything like that, you will jeopardize your closing because your paycheck may come or not, and you could probably even leave the job. That kind of a ambiguous income, lenders will not approve it. So guys, remember all this thing. If you start your journey early, suppose on very fast lane, I have closed a home for somebody as close as within 45 days. 1 whole week, I can take them out, show different homes, because in that area, there were new construction and lived in home. We saw all of it. Nothing was left which fit their criteria. Once the criteria gets met, they had to decide really quickly. And actually, we closed in 25 days. So everything was really good because they were flexible. They were flexible about not having east facing front door or south facing this or southeast at the backyard. And, it was pretty relatively easy, comfortable search. Hope this was pretty good for you. One important thing, avoid buyer's fatigue. I've seen people starting home search with their realtor, ending after and seeing 30, 40 houses, closing after 6 months without any good reason. And it's a fatigue. Buyers get tired because at the end of the day, they will not remember, or you will not remember, that how many homes you saw before and what was each house's positive or negative points. I have a system. What I do is take a very intense 45-minute interview with the buyers, all the buyers. If there are decision makers, 3 people and their mom is equal, say, mom and both the spouses. So make sure that you are talking to everybody in your office or through Zoom, whichever is convenient. Then go through everything, 1 story, 2 story, how many mandatory bedrooms, how many optional rooms, how many mandatory bathrooms, do they need a powder room, swimming pool, okay? Some people just do not want it, but they want a big yard, maybe for other children's activity. We don't know. So a lot of people have a lot of specific in their mind. Some people wanted 2 staircases, one formal and one from upstairs, some kind of a living room up there coming down straight to the kitchen. You will see that design a lot by some builders. 2 bedroom downs, maybe, not 1 bedroom. And second bedroom to have a separate bath also. So they want 2.5 bath on the first floor. So things like that. If you have interviewed well by your realtor, you know that that is a very qualified realtor. Second thing which can hit anybody is your realtor to have a great relationship with your lender. The reason I say that is most of the realtors don't know how lending works. A lot of lenders do not give you a lot of specifics, and they do not tell you what not to do after you apply and receive your credit approval. So I'll do a separate video for that. I have done one before, but it was like fast, fast, fast. So these are kind of the thing I really want you to understand. In realtor, true qualification, social media presence, and 10-year minimum work experience. And buyer's fatigue, not that so you go crazy with something you absolutely do not even want it. Be specific, communicate that to your realtor. Even if they haven't asked you, make sure you provide that information since you have seen this video number 6. So guys, hope this whole series have given you no reason for not to be able to afford home. Single income is fine, double income is fine, as long as your income is for 2 years before and is going to continue for next 1 year. Or you were a student and taking up a job, of course, that 2 years requirement is waived. But they have to make sure, they meaning lender, that you will have a continuity of job at least for another years. So guys, go ahead, like, subscribe, and write your comments. I have poured my heart out in this 6 series, going through every little detail, and go home buying in this 2025 new ways. And write your comments. Write your comments. That makes me happy. If you have questions, ask through comments and I will answer you, my promise. Thank you.